You see, for those of you who've always followed me, you understand that my gig is all about motivation, motivating you towards having that life which you desire for yourself, motivating you towards saying that there is no impossibility or obstacles you cannot overcome in life. But most recently, I have decided to reinvent myself and share certain principles which I have successfully applied in my life that have helped me achieve my dreams and goals, so you too can replicate these principles and it could get you to your dreams and goals. You see, it has always been a dream of mine to be retired before the age of 40. And I say this, I am 39 and I'm retired. Now I got to this point of my dream, my goal in life, because I understood certain principles of life, because life, as you very well know, works based on principles. It doesn't matter how many haters you have out there. It doesn't matter how many people you feel are chasing you out there. If you understand certain principles and you apply them right in your life, you will achieve the results you want. And I understood and was able to apply certain principles in my life, and that's why I'm able to live this life I'm living today. A life where I can sit and tell you I am retired at 39. The fact of the matter is, I ain't retired at 39 because I was born with silver spoon in my mouth. I didn't come from a rich home. I didn't retire at 39 because I was able to cash out quickly from the central bank of mom and dad. My parents ain't that rich. As a matter of fact, I provide them support when I can. But the fact of the matter is, I worked just like you, 9 to 5, but I understood that in order to earn financial freedom, I have to invest. Now here's the reality. Your employers, same as my own employer when I was working, will only pay you enough to keep you from quitting, but not enough for you to blow up and leave the company. And despite the fact that what they are paying you is the minimum, the government will tax you, and what is left for you is just enough to keep you going. Which means if you really want to invest and achieve that financial freedom you need, you're going to have to make sacrifices, and that is life. Because we know this, because it's common sense, it's common knowledge that in order to have that which most will not have in life, you've got to do that which most people will not be willing and able to do in life. In order to have that financial freedom you desire, you've got to be willing to make sacrifices, and sacrifices is not something that is synonymous to people. We, most human beings out there, are unwilling to make sacrifices. They want to have the life they desire without paying the price. It is okay to want things, but it is not okay to be unwilling to make the necessary sacrifice. It is not okay to be unwilling to do that which it takes to achieve it. You say in life, most people do just enough. Some people do that which is required. Some do as they are told. But the successful do whatever it takes to get that which they desire. Because in most cases, just enough isn't enough. In most cases, that which is required isn't enough. In most cases, that which you're told is not enough. You've got to go above and beyond. Because it takes the extra to create the extraordinary. You've got to go beyond the ordinary to the level where you attract and command the extra into play, and that is when you bring about the extraordinary. So if you want to earn that financial freedom which you desire, then you've got to make sacrifices. Sacrifices to take the little out of the little you have and invest it. I'll share a personal story here with you. You see, at a time in my life when I was making one of the biggest investments I've made into real estate, I was saving up to buy a property which could easily be described in millions today. That was when my car decided to break down. A car that had warranty with Audi, a brand new car, less than 2 years old. And when I went to Audi, they told me I missed the first service of the car after I bought the car. And for that, the warranty is no longer valid. I went back and forth with them to no end. What did I do? I put that joker aside and said, you can't distract me from my dreams and goals. I saved up the money I wanted. I went on to invest in that particular real estate. And when I was done, I walked into Mercedes shop and bought myself a brand new car. That investment is one of the biggest reasons why I'm able to live this life I'm living today. Now, I could have been able to divert the funds I was saving up for that investment towards buying myself or fixing that car at the time. I literally had to go without a car for a few months because I was so focused on that which I wanted, on the life which I wanted for me. I knew how to get there, that my present satisfaction, my present comfort would not get me to that future I desire for me. I had to make the sacrifice. See, a lot of times in life, the reason most people ain't moving forward towards that life of financial freedom, towards that life they desire for themselves, it's not because they didn't have a plan. It's because they are unable to make the necessary sacrifice towards ignoring the distractions of today. And you know this because a number of times when you've tried to save up towards a big project, something else happens in your life that takes that money. Something else happens in your life that distracts you, and you reallocate or reassign that fund that was supposed to go into a future investment towards saving the present. Someone once said that if you really want to be successful in life, then you must get comfortable being uncomfortable. In order to have the things most people would not have in life, you must be willing and able to do the things most people would not do in life. Most people would not be willing and able to sacrifice their present comfort for their future. And that is the biggest problem with most people out there. So if you really desire financial freedom, I promise you, you've got to understand the concept of investment, the need for investment. Now let's talk about investment. A lot of times, as a matter of fact, if you look around you and look at those who are successful, who are doing very well in life, you would notice one thing, that a lot of them are well invested in real estate because you can't go wrong there. Every economics knows that besides food, housing, shelter is the second most important need of man. So it doesn't matter what part of the world you live in, people would always need a roof over their head, shelter. So if you invest in properties, people would rent those properties, and that rental income will be enough to carry you month on, month out. It will become a passive income. You don't have to do any work for it. But let's take this thing one step back, because in most cases, some of you out there, you don't have the money to invest in real estate because it costs a lot of money to deposit in houses. Again, I'll draw from my own personal experience. The greatest investment you can make in life is investing in people, but also one of the most tricky investments. You see, most people who are close to me knows that I've said this so many times. The first $1 million I made in life, I gave it out. I invested it in someone. Investing in people is the best investment you can make in life. But the most difficult thing is identifying the right person. Because when I was down and out, when it looked like everything was going wrong, it was this same person that came to save my ass, that saved me and bailed me out. Not once, not twice has things like this happened. That the people I invested in financially came around to invest in me, to keep me going, to hold me at that point so I don't fall to the ground. But the complexity here is identifying the right person to invest in. Because a lot of people that are running around asking you, oh, here's my dream, here's my goal, invest in my dream, they are not that serious. So first thing first, you don't invest your money in someone who's not invested in themselves. You don't invest your resources in someone who does not invest their resources on themselves. So that someone comes to tell you their dreams and goals and tell you that they have plan without actually doing whatever it takes to grow that plan into reality doesn't mean you put your money in there. It is your hard-earned money. You worked for it. You cannot afford to just throw it around. So when you decide to invest in people, there are certain things you must look out for. First thing first, you do not invest in someone who's not invested in themselves. You don't invest in someone else's dream when they are not willing to invest in their dream, because they would never be committed towards bringing that dream into reality. And the greatest investment you can make in life is in yourself, because you cannot pour out of an empty cup. So now that we've just touched a bit on investment, if you can invest in real estate, go ahead, it is great. If you can identify the right people in life and invest in them, amazing. But most importantly, you must never stop investing in yourself, because as long as you continue to invest in yourself, you continue to attract more income, you continue to attract wealth. And that wealth which you attract, that income you attract, can then be reinvested in other things, and that would lead to the financial freedom you seek. So I leave you with this today. If you take nothing from my message today, I'd like you to take this. You must remember that as you go through life, the financial freedom you seek is directly tied to your ability to leverage your income appropriately and make sacrifice and invest part of it. I'll say that again. The financial freedom you seek is directly tied to your ability to leverage your paycheck, your income, make sacrifices, and invest a bit of it every month. So you may have to start from saving, you may have to start from investing in yourself, but you must keep investing, because your employer will only pay you just the barest minimum to keep you from quitting at every given time. And I promise you that minimum too will be taxed by the government, because the system needs to keep going. So the problem you have in life is not your employers. The problem you have is not your manager. You can complain about them all you want, but the reality is, for things to change, you have got to change. You've got to change the way you see things. You've got to be able to make sacrifices